Hello guys and welcome back to another crypto update. Today we have a little bounce on Bitcoin. Maybe not a little, it's quite a bit. It's 6% for now, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, and that is why. So this channel about 30 to 31k has offered previous support, and again this time it did support us. Also we are on the RSI oversold on the daily, so it is reasonable to have a bounce there. But let's remember that we are still having lower highs and lower lows, which in fact if you connect them we are in a downward channel. The only thing we still need to confirm the channel is the second touch point around here to confirm a downward channel. We already have 2 touch points on the upside but only 1 on the downside. So given that we are oversold on the daily and we reached this channel that historically has supported us, we could say that we could have a bounce from here, but we could only retest this upward trend line of this channel and getting back down heavily. So let's not get ahead of ourselves because this could be only a bull trap. On the smaller time frame, and let's remember also that on the Bitcoin longs we hit another time here on this historical trend line that when we reach, usually in history, we reverse to the downside. That means that the longs usually starts to close in profit maybe and open shorts. So this area in confluence with this lows, let me get the brush, with these lows and also with this trend line here, tell me that we might only get a bounce here to further go back down, as I said on this chart here. Okay, I'm not convinced on this bounce, so be cautious what you do. Maybe you can trade on the smaller time frames, yes, and in fact on the smaller time frames, let me get these out. On the smaller time frames, on the 15-minute chart, we had our first break and maybe retest since the 40k break to the downside. As you can see, let me zoom in. It is the first time we had a break to the upside. This was only a fake out. It is only the first time that we had a break to the upside and in confluence with an inverse head and shoulder. You can see we had the left shoulder, head and right shoulder breaking to the upside, so that is a confirmed reversal on the smaller time frames. But what I need to do, what I need to see right now is a retest and support with a bounce from this EMA ribbon, which will eventually break, let me remove the arrows, which eventually will break the 1 hour EMA ribbon. As you can see, the 1 hour EMA ribbon, mainly the 21, has held the price down. And for me, as I said yesterday, I want a break and retest to the upside then of the 1 hour to stop shorting. Of course, right now I stopped shorting because the 15-minute time frame is already showing us some momentum to the upside, so I'm just monitoring what is happening right now. So that's it. That's for Bitcoin right now. Okay, don't get ahead of ourselves because we still have to break this trend line here at about 37k maybe or 35. So until we break this channel, we're still in a downward momentum, but we could have a bounce. On the smaller time frames, let's monitor the 15 and the 1 hour chart. Let's also monitor the Bitcoin longs. And for those MBOX holders like me, on the daily we have formed a falling wedge which On the downside, the support trend line, we've hit it quite sometimes. It's about 6 times, and this is the sixth bounce that we're kind of having here. So it's not a big deal. We're gonna have a bounce like Bitcoin is doing right now, but you could maybe enter along here with a stop loss below this trend line. But as I told you yesterday and I mentioned today, I still think that on the medium term we're going to the downside below the 30k, because the 30k below this channel, we know for sure that there are a lot of stop losses on the 27k area, and when we reach, or if, because no one knows the future, but I think that we're gonna break this channel eventually, and when we break it, we're gonna have another massive capitulation to the downside, which will have that volume candle that I explained and mentioned yesterday. And after that, I hope and I think we'll break eventually this RSI to the upside, but not before reaching this area here. So right now I'm gonna show you my Bybit account, the $50 to $5,000 challenge. Yesterday was my first day that I had bad as a performance. It was a bad performance day. Basically, my problem was that on big accounts, I usually make good and constant risk reward ratio and risk management. But yesterday found it difficult that on a small account like my $50 investment, I found it very hard to keep my risk management intact. And in fact, I lost $60 yesterday. So as I always say to you, this is the equity 262 from 320 from yesterday. I want to keep everything transparent. I'm not a god. I do mistakes like everybody else. I hope you appreciate and relate to, but it's no big deal. We're still 4 point something X from our initial investment of $50, and we'll get back today or tomorrow. Don't let your losses get ahead of yourselves, because you'll make mistakes. Yesterday I got impatient and I lost $60. No big deal. Okay, so let's keep trading and good day to you all.